welcome back to Lifelong Learners. Last week I talked about autism and epilepsy from my own lived experiences. This week I want to talk about how I've been coping since Nancy Parland, my therapist, has retired. For more episodes of Lifelong Learners, you can go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcast. Don't forget to go to YouTube and look up Lifelong Learners. Like, comment, and sharing my podcast helps me get my autism story out there. Make sure you subscribe to my channel at Lifelong Learners Podcast. Now, let's dive into the world of change and uncertainty from my lived experiences. Your host, Holly Tetreault. It's been almost a month since Nancy retired from CHD. There are days where I find it's hard to focus on my homework. I can't do my chores. I am sad that Nancy isn't my therapist, but she left me in good hands with Justin. Nancy was the first person who I felt comfortable being my true self. This change has been hard for me because I never realized how much Nancy meant to me until she retired earlier last month. If Nancy could see what I am doing today, she would be proud of me. I've been in therapy for 18 years, and it's helpful to have someone who I can talk to. Sometimes Nancy and I would play games during my sessions because I would find it hard to just talk to her. Other times, we would do art together. I am navigating this change as best I can. 18 years is a long time to be in therapy with the same person. Also, I find it hard to leave at the end of my sessions because the time flies by too fast. I bring my stuffed animals with me to therapy. Sometimes I invite Mom in to talk about things. My last session with Nancy was hard because I kept telling her that I wasn't leaving and I was going to lock her in her office so she couldn't leave. The last few weeks have been rough, and it's been a lot with my vocal stimming. The first day without Nancy was a full-blown stimming, and I couldn't accept the fact that she retired. I was in denial for a week or two. My sleep was all over the place, and it was hard to sleep at night. I still feel tired, and I still wish I could have the same therapist. Being autistic makes change harder for me to cope with. In February, when I first heard that Nancy was retiring, I was shocked, and it was hard for me to accept it. I have been building a new routine for myself while also balancing school. Having Nancy's Fox has helped me to know that she is right there with me. She helped me through so much the last 18 years. I didn't want to say goodbye to her, but I like Justin, and he's helping me out with getting an inattentive ADHD diagnosis. I've still been having some second thoughts about the intellectual disability that I have. It's only been a little over a month since Nancy retired, and since journaling about it, I feel sad. I also find myself reflecting on all of the times Nancy has helped me over the years. I've been in therapy since I was 7 years old, and after witnessing my dad leave us the month before my birthday was hard. At first I couldn't even talk to Nancy about how hurt I was when Dad left us in August of 2008. For a while, when I was in therapy, I used art to communicate my feelings instead of talking about the divorce. It was hard for me to find the words to express how I was feeling. Nancy, my former therapist, was there with me during all of these changes I went through during childhood. She was someone who I could talk to when things got bad. I was able to be who I am without being judged for it. While I was coming to terms that I was going to grow up without my dad, I felt like Nancy played the role of being my father, even though she was only my therapist. Over the years, as I began to trust Nancy more, my therapy sessions became fun, and then I would say that I don't want to leave. I didn't think that I would have Nancy for 18 years, but I am glad I did. She was a big part of my life growing up, and I can't thank her enough for everything she has done for me. Nancy's Fox travels with me everywhere. Fox comes to GCC to hang out with me and helps me record my podcasts. Now I have 2 Fox and Soxes. One of my favorite things I did with Nancy was playing Uno together. As I said, I had a hard time when we would just talk during my sessions. So we would do art or play cards and talk. I would also bring my toys and stuffed animals to therapy. I enjoyed showing Nancy my newest stuffed animal, and I did this for years. I have a special interest in stuffed animals, and having a place where I felt comfortable talking about that felt good. Having therapy has helped me to talk about things that are hard, but I also found that Nancy and I became friends in a way. Sometimes we can joke around and laugh. Other times I found Nancy to be a good listener. This change hasn't been easy for me, but I'm slowly building trust with Justin. It's hard when I've been with the same person for 18 years, and now I have to start all over with someone new. I've noticed that I needed more time to process how I am feeling, and I am spending more time by myself. This loss has been harder because I have never realized until now how much Nancy has helped me and has been there to listen to my worries and concerns. I'm finding these same characteristics in Justin, my new therapist. I have had a few sessions with him, and I feel like I can trust him. I like when we talk about ADHD in girls, because with the help from UMass Amherst, I am going to get tested for ADHD. Next week, I want to talk about mealtimes growing up as a autistic young woman. That's all for this week's episode of Lifelong Learners. Today, I talked about how I am coping since Nancy, my former therapist, retired last month. Next week, I want to talk about mealtimes growing up as a autistic young woman. For more episodes of Lifelong Learners, you can go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcast. Don't forget to go to YouTube and look up Lifelong Learners. Also, like, comment, and sharing my podcast helps me get my lived experiences out there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Lifelong Learners Podcast. See you next week. Holly Tetreault.